guys, welcome back to Vitale Style. Today I'm doing a video on products that I just regret for whatever reason, whether it might be that I just can't figure out how to make it work. I personally don't like the colors, or it just didn't work for my skin tone, my skin type, whatever it might be. These products just didn't work for me. However, I'm going to keep them in my collections and make them work because I spend the money and I want to use them because they're all beautiful, and it might just be that I don't know how to use them. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. I'm going to give a little bit of a little review on each one, a little information on each one, because I've got a lot to go through. So we are going to jump right in. Now, everything here, pretty much everything is high end, which is why I wanted to do this for you so that you could save a buck or two if you are anything like me. You might find this helpful if you were thinking about buying any of these products. All right, let's start with the foundations. The first one, I just can't do it. It's the Vitale Lumiere by Chanel. Now, this apparently is meant for dry skin. I have tried to make this work. I have dry skin, especially in the winter, and this does not work for me. It makes me look like an oily mess. I do not like it. I do not like it at all. And I'm trying to figure out a way to make this work with what I'm going to talk about next, but we'll see. The next foundation I regret purchasing is the Kat Von D Lock-It Tattoo Foundation. I used to love this foundation last year. Love, 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 even in the winter. But for some reason, this looks super cakey on me. And I get that this is a really matte, heavy-duty foundation, but nothing changed in my skin since last year. I have the same exact skin. Every other product works as normal, but this does not. And this is not the same bottle. I purchased another bottle, this is a new bottle, because I figured maybe that one was just gotten old and oxidized, and I don't know. But this just didn't work for me. It's just very cakey and heavy. And the next foundation is which is it's so sad. I'm so bummed about this that I wouldn't, is the Le Teint Touche Éclat Illuminating Foundation. I did a review on this. This is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful foundation. I love this for special occasions. I think it just gives you the most beautiful glow. It doesn't last very long, which is why I don't love it, but at the same time, it's pretty much identical to my L'Oreal True Match Lumi. I really feel like these two are pretty much the same, and this is less than $10. This is about $60. So this is 10 times more expensive than this, and I just don't see why. So that's why I regret purchasing this, because I should have just stuck with this and it would have been fine. However, I'm trying to combine these two together and see if maybe that will work, and maybe because this is so luminous, this is so illuminating, and this is so matte, I can figure out a way to make these work, blending it out with my beauty blender. Maybe that'll happen. Maybe that'll work. Also, the Stila Stay All Day Foundation and Concealer. I don't really love the concealer for under my eyes because it's a little bit too thick. And this is a gorgeous foundation, but it just reminds me so much of the Revlon Color Stay Whipped that I feel like I just regret buying it because it's exactly like my Revlon Color Stay Whipped. But this is a beautiful foundation. So if you, for some reason, don't like the Revlon Color Stay Whipped and you don't think it's got enough coverage, this baby has got full coverage, and it does last on my face a lot longer than the Revlon Color Stay Whipped. I just wouldn't repurchase it. Sticking with face, I can't believe I'm going to mention this next product, but I'm going to because it does nothing for me, and I'm so bummed. But it's the Hourglass Ambient Powder in Dim Light. I was on a hunt for this. I went to Sephora. She told me this would be the best match for me. Swatch it on my hand. It's beautiful. I swatch it on my hand. You can kind of see the product a little bit, but I put this on my face and I see nothing. I see no difference. I see no luminosity. I see nothing. So to me, this was a waste of money, but it's not really, because I do make it work, but I just shouldn't have to try so hard to make a product work. Do you know what I mean? And this also looks good on when I'm filming for Laura in the kitchen, because it doesn't reflect that much light, not as much as you think it does. Also, another powder that I really can't figure out how to make work at all, and I'm happy that I've seen that I'm not the only one having this product, and it is the NARS Translucent Crystal Light Reflecting Setting Powder. I had to dig and dig and dig to get the first layer of film off because there was no product coming off of this. Now that I've kind of worked through that first layer, look at what happens. It's just, you can see it on my finger. It's just not, I don't know, it's a little bit too white. If I put this under my eyes to set my concealer, I feel like it gives me a white cast. It's just not good. It's not good at all. It does nothing, nothing, nothing for me. A bronzer that people swear by, love so much, and I am trying to love it, but I can't figure out how to make it work, therefore it's really frustrating, is the Chanel Soleil de Tan. It's a beautiful cream bronzer. I haven't even made a dent in it because I can't figure out how to use this in a way that it looks fabulous, because to me this looks a little bit too orange. I can't figure out the right brush to use with this. I have tried so many different things. I am wearing this today in hopes of maybe giving myself a little bit of a luminosity, you know, like a little bit of a natural luminous bronzy look, but just if any of you have tips on how to use this or what to use it with, by all means, please let me know because I can't figure this out. Sticking with bronzer, the Too Faced Endless Summer 16-hour Longwear Bronzer. Doesn't stay on 16 hours at all. It is not as good as my beloved Chocolate Soleil, but it's really light. It doesn't really hardly show up on me. Look at that. How is that supposed to show up on me in the summer when I'm super tan? Because I tan really easily. That's nothing. And I'm like digging in. Finally can get some color, but that's just not enough to bronze you in the summertime, not me anyway. So I don't like this. I don't like this at all, at all. Now this next product is not a product I bought this year. I actually bought it maybe a year and a half or so ago. I don't even remember when it was out, but I don't like this. And this is the NARS Trio in Laguna, Orgasm, and Albatross. This is what it looks like. First of all, I hate the packaging. It gets super filthy. This is what the product looks like. First of all, I don't know if you can see, but my blush is like breaking out. It looks like it's got pimples. You see that? And that's what it looked like when I first got it. So I can't figure out what's wrong with it. The bronzer is okay. It's really light. At this point, I just think maybe I've had it for too long because it doesn't even show up. So, and also, the Albatross highlighter has never been a favorite of mine because it's very, very yellow looking. Like, for some reason, onto my skin, onto my cheekbones, this looks really yellow. I don't know if you can see that, probably not. But it's just something I never ever reach for. It's not my favorite. I'm probably just going to give this to my sister or my girlfriend. And the blush, the Orgasm blush, it's okay, but it's not my favorite. Another blush I really don't see myself using is this Kiko blush, which I bought in Italy. The color is really beautiful. It's Soft Touch blush in the color 100, but it's very powdery. I mean, you can see, look at that. You can see how powdery that is, and every time I put it on, it makes a huge mess. It's a beautiful color. It's like a really nice bronzy color, like reddish bronzy color, perfect for summer, but it's very powdery, doesn't go on even on the skin tone, and it's just not, I don't know, it just doesn't stay on. It's very, very powdery. Also, this Bare Minerals Ready Blush and Luminizer in the color The Natural Light and the Shining Moment. The Natural Light is the name of the blush, and then the Shining Moment is the highlight. I don't like this. The blush is very, very light and hardly shows up on me. I have to pile it on and pile it on and pile it on in order for it to show up. And the highlighter is very, very powdery and chalky. It just doesn't look, it looks very fake. You can see it right there. It looks very fake, so I'm not a fan of this at all. I'm also not a fan of the Bare Minerals Luminizer in the Love Affair, and that all came, these two I believe came in a kit. This is what it looks like. It's very powdery. There is nothing special about this. It is a pretty highlight when you blend it out really well, but you shouldn't have to try so hard in order to make something not look powdery. Do you know what I mean? So I am going to keep these two because I will find a way to use them. Sticking on to highlighters, this was such a big disappointment. I bought it, never wore it, got rid of the packaging so I couldn't return it, but I just don't like it. I'm just grabbing a makeup wipe real quick. Okay, sorry about that. This next highlighter, I don't like it, I don't like it, I don't like it, is the Naked Urban Decay Illuminizer. It is so beautiful in the package, but this is a disco ball on your cheeks. I mean, that is sparkles. And it does, talk about a highlighter that makes you look fake. Look at that. That's just way too sparkly. So I'm going to try and use this more of an eyeshadow than anything else because this is not going on my face. No, thank you. Now, something else I want to talk about, and it's kind of like a whole line I want to talk about, and I feel like I'm going to get banned from YouTube because everyone loves them, but I just, for some reason, don't. It's the Tarte Amazonian Clay Cheek Blushes. Now, this particular one is the palette I got, which is really pretty, but for some reason, I find these to be powdery and chalky. I don't find these to be the most amazing blushes of all time like everybody else says they are. I find these to be really powdery, really chalky. Beautiful colors in this palette, no doubt. These are all the blushes, and then this is the bronzer right here. Beautiful colors, no doubt, but for some reason, they're just, I don't gravitate towards these ever because I find these to be too chalky, too powdery, and I'm someone that really likes a beautiful glow on the cheek, something soft, something that when you put it on, it doesn't look like a bunch of powder. Does that make sense? But this, to me, it's just, it's a little bit of a downer. But what I am gonna think, what I think I'm gonna start doing is find maybe a really subtle highlighters, like this one, for example, this one from Bare Minerals that came with a blush and highlighter. What I think I'll do is I will on top of a matte finished blush, I will dip my blush brush in it, dip out the excess, and just kind of apply over the matte blush to give me that luminous that I like on top of my blushes. So I think that's what I'm gonna do to make them work because they're beautiful colors and I don't want to waste the money, but I am going to figure out a way to make it work. Okay, on to eyeshadow palettes. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to talk about. So we're going to go through them really quickly because I don't want to talk your ear off. The first one that I do not care for is the Nude Tude palette. Don't like it. Probably use this once or twice. This is not my fan. I don't know why why they would put yellows, whites, pinks. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. This is not a palette I ever reach for. These are not colors I ever really reach for. It's just not for me at all. I like the colors Sophisticated and Selfish, which this is Selfish right here, which is a really pretty taupe color. And this is Sophisticated, which is like a more of a brown color, cool toned, but it's nothing special, not a fan. They're not straight either, which I don't like. They should be straight, but that's a different story. Not a fan, not at all. Next is the Urban Decay. I don't even know what this is called. The Skull palette, maybe? It's this little tiny thing right here. I got this off of Whole Look for super cheap. I think it was like 12 bucks, which is why I bought it. This is what the colors look like. Two, like, I don't know, there's a black one, there's a blue, there's a lavender with a lot of sparkle in it, there's a white with a lot of sparkle in it, there's a green. The green is actually really pretty. It's like a deeper green. It's really pretty, but this is not a palette I go to ever. I like Smog, I like Maui, I like Last Call, Chopper, and Sin. I think what I might do is I might depot these and put these, I might depot this one, and the next one I'm going to show you, and just use the colors, put the colors I would use in a palette and give the rest to my sister. The next palette is this other Urban Decay palette right here. I don't know the name of it. It doesn't say anywhere on it. I got this on Whole Look as well for super cheap. This is what it looks like. Again, not colors I use. I mean, all these bright colors. Girlfriend over here does not use all these bright colors. So what I might do again is just take these three right here. Maybe this one's really pretty. They're so pretty. Maybe I just need to figure out to branch out a little bit and start wearing some brighter colors. That might be the answer to this. So that's that. The next palette is by Laura Mercier, and it's this one right here. I really like this for when I travel, and I want something really subtle, a little bit subtle, but this is what it looks like. This is what the palette looks like. Big mirror. I like the mirror a lot. They've got three, like, sorry, I don't know if you can see that. Yikes. They've got three, which are like, they're really dark. I don't even know if you consider this a shadow, or is it supposed to be like a liner if you get it wet or something, because I've never used it, and there's no way that this is a shadow, because look at this. This is the black, right? Where did I? There's no way. So maybe you have to wet this or something, but it doesn't work at all. Look at this. Nothing. Nothing. But I do like the eyeshadows and I like the blushes, and I wore this on a business meeting once. I wore these two top colors with a little bit of this in the crease, and I had the girl there give me a really nice compliment on it, so I would repurchase this. I'm just not a fan. I don't know what is this? I don't know what this is. So, not a fan. No thank you. The last palette I want to talk about is a recent purchase from me. It is the Kat Von D Spellbinding Eyeshadow Book. This is absolutely gorgeous, but one thing you must know about me is that if I like one specific color in a palette, then I must buy the palette, even though I'll probably never get to really use these colors because there's so many bright, colorful colors here that I don't normally use and I wouldn't use on a daily basis. So I keep thinking to myself, like, what would I really use in this palette? I would use this one right here. So beautiful. I would use this one right here, this one right here, that one right there. I mean, you can't deny that the colors are stunning, and they are pigmented as can be, creamy, beautiful, just stunning. But it's just not something that I regret it because I have similar colors in my collection already somewhere, so this was not a necessity. But that is everything I have. I hope I haven't overwhelmed you. If you have a tip or trick on how you make some of these items work, then please share with me, especially the Chanel bronzer, because this is just mind-blowing to me. Also, if you were thinking about purchasing any of these items, now you can maybe give it a second thought now that you've seen them up close and kind of my take on it. And you know, I'm a makeup junkie and I love trying out new products, so when I find products that I just don't think they're that worth it and they're worth the money, I want to share just in case somebody was thinking about the same thing. Maybe I could save you time and money. So that is everything. I hope it's helped. Oh, I want to talk about a few mascaras really quickly from the drugstore. The Almay one coat triple effect does nothing for me, nothing at all. The Lash Out Butterfly from Revlon, this is just a weird concept because guess what? It's got that brush where you can see right there. It's supposed to give you those really like big wings on the outer lashes. Well, how do you do it here? I gotta do it like this, and it's really uncomfortable, and it really doesn't do a whole lot for my lashes at all. And from the high-end side, Dior Show mascara, go buy yourself the L'Oreal Carbon Black. It's the exact same thing. So that's my take on everything. Done rambling. Hope you found this helpful. Let me know down below what you want to see next on this channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.